Hello, this is Josh Patel back again with another biology video. Today we're going to be finishing up chapter 15, which is the biosphere, and this is probably going to be a short video because we're only going to be doing 15.4 and 15.5. So 15.4 is marine ecosystems, and marine ecosystems are global. As we know, marine is like what has to do with water. So the ocean can be divided up into zones. Ocean zones can be determined by their distance from shorelines and water depth. So basically, the ocean zones, the different names for them, have to do with how low they are to the ground and how far away they are from certain landmarks, like the continents. So we don't have to know specifically these zones, but okay, we'll go over them anyway. So the intertidal zone is between low and high tide, and if you probably live near a beach or something, you know that low tide and high tide has to do with how high the water comes up on the shore. So low tide would be if the water stays back into the ocean and it doesn't come up. High tide is when it comes up, and so more of the sand gets wet. And then we have the Neritic zone, which is from the intertidal zone to the continental shelf. So it would be from the top, the intertidal zone, down to like the base of the floor, the shelf, continental shelf. And then we have the Baffle zone, which is from the Neritic zone to the base of the continental shelf. So all the way to basically the bottom of the continent. And then we have the abyssal zone, which lies below 2,000 meters. And abyss is like a really big hole in the ground, so you can think of it, it's like the bottommost. So the Neritic zone harbors more biomass than any other zone. Plankton make up most of the biomass here. So we have zooplankton, we also have phytoplankton. And plankton is just like a really small living animal. Coastal waters contain unique habitats. Coral reefs are found in warm waters. So we might have gone scuba diving and seen a reef, and you see them, and they're usually in warmer areas, and we know that there are like lots and lots of animals. There's lots of biodiversity in a coral reef. So they're in usually tropical climate zones, and they have great amounts of biomass. So here's an example of a coral reef. There's not many fish in this picture, but usually there are tons of fish. So we have kelp forests, which are found in cold, nutrient-rich waters, and there are large communities of seaweed, great amounts of biomass. So this is a kelp forest. As we can see, it's very huge. This is a person, and it's like barely a fourth of it. So 15.5, estuaries and freshwater ecosystems. Freshwater ecosystems include estuaries as well as flowing and standing water, and estuaries are basically like pools of water. So well, no, they're not pools. They're where the rivers meet the ocean. Estuaries are dramatic environments where a river flows into the ocean. Mixtures of fresh water with salt water, and some examples are Chesapeake Bay and Louisiana Bayous. So this is where the river flows into the ocean. So it's kind of like a delta, but it's more like it looks still part of the river. So it's a partially enclosed body of water. So this would be an estuary here. We have a river here, and the ocean's probably on this side. So estuaries are highly productive ecosystems. Estuaries provide a protected refuge for many species. So we have birds that migrate there. They're spawning grounds, and if you don't know what a spawning ground is, it's where fish lay eggs, and it's basically a nursery for fish eggs. Estuaries are primarily threatened by land development. So humans wanting to live near the water damage these estuaries and hurt the animals living there. Freshwater ecosystems include moving and standing water. So freshwater is just not salt water, so not from the ocean. A watershed is a region of land that drains into a body of water. And a watershed could also be land basically dividing two different rivers or two different bodies of water. Ecosystems may be different along a river's course. So depending on where it is along the river, there's going to have different structures on the sides, like different trees, different It might be a jungle in one spot, a forest in another. So it's going to be all different. See, like here, there's a river and a desert. Here, it can be through a forest. Wetlands are among the most productive ecosystems, so they provide a home for many species. They filter dirty water, renew underground water supply. So as we know, we have water underground, and that's where we get most of our water from. And some animals have adaptations suited to the fresh water they inhabit. So you can't just have a saltwater fish and put it in a freshwater environment. It won't survive that well because it's not used to the clean fresh water, it's used to salt water. Ponds and lakes share common features. Freshwater bodies are divided into three zones. We don't need to know these zones either, so we have the littoral zone, limnetic zone, and benthic zone. We don't need to know those. All lakes turn over periodically. And so turnover happens due to change in density, and it's basically the water on the top goes to the bottom, and the water on the bottom goes to the top. So in both autumn and spring, surface water flows downward and bottom water flows upward, so basically the water flips. And it just like fixes the river, I guess. The upwelling brings up nutrients, so all the nutrients from the bottom now spread out through the river. And that's the end of chapter 15, which was the biosphere. And make sure you study this hard and watch the next video.